Good morning and welcome to our YouTube channel. We have a mat work class for you today, so you're going to need no equipment. We upload a new video every single week, so if you hit subscribe now, you will be notified as soon as we put that up. So I will let you grab your mat, make sure you've got a clear space to work out in today, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, so we are going to start the class standing, please. And we're going to have our feet in a parallel position. And as always, I'm just going to focus on having a really lovely equal weight distribution throughout my feet. So I'm thinking weight in my heels, close your eyes if it helps you. Weight in the balls of your feet. And I like to pick up all 10 toes, spread them wide, and then place them down. And I'm going to make sure that my knees are not locked out here. And I think it's really important that we start bringing our awareness to the position of our feet, but also the rest of the body. So we've got the lovely foot alignment, we've got our pelvis stacked over our feet, so we're not hanging out here or poking the bum back here. And we're not going to force anything, but it's just, we're going to bring our awareness to this. And also it's about the rib cage. I've spoken about it lots before. I don't want us just to hang out in the rib cage. So think about just keeping that connection. And then obviously we've got the head stacked over the ribs. Okay, so let's just bear that in mind, not just in Pilates, in everyday life. I'd like you just to turn your arm bones backwards a little bit, please. So what we have got here is this lovely openness in the chest. Again, it's not forced. And I'd like you to just nod your ear to your shoulder, feel the stretch down the neck, and then take it the other way. So just slowly easing our way through any tension we might be holding on to in the neck. And I would love for you to notice if one side is a bit tighter than the other, just listening to our body and listening to the feedback it gives us all of the time. But often we're just too busy to listen to it. You know, we spend our lives rushing around. And I think during our hour of Pilates or a couple of hours or however many hours we do each week, is the time just to stop and listen to our body. Just give me one more. And then come to center and just start drawing circles on the wall in front of you with your nose. And if you'd like to work with your eyes closed before, of course you can. For me, when I work with my eyes closed, I just get this real sense of awareness of what's happening. And at the same time as circling your head, let us think of our breath. Bring your attention to that as well. So we're breathing in through our nose and breathing out through our mouths. And then let your circles just decrease in size rather than just stopping. And then when you're ready, change direction, please. And your arms are just hanging. So your shoulders in turn are just easy. We're not forcing them down our back. Circles might begin to increase in size as you just ease through anything we're holding on to. And then slowly decrease in size and come to center. So let us again just bring our attention to our posture, connection of the feet, softness in the knees. And when you're ready, lift your right arm up, gaze up to it, sweep your arm back, bring it down. And then you turn to face forwards again. Give me 3 more. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, release. 2 more, please. Just waking up the shoulder. Waking up the chest. A small amount of rotation in the spine. Last time, please. All the way back. It's like you're doing a backstroke. And as you turn to face forward, you take your hand onto the ribs because we're going to side bend. Lift your left arm up. Breathe in, side bend, up and over your hand. So this hand is just giving you awareness. And then exhale, release. 3 more. Inhale, please. Take it over. Press that hand into the ribs. Feel how that opens out the other side. And exhale, release. 2 more, please. Over on the inhale. This time, just press your left hip to the left-hand side of the room. And with any move ever, we're not going to force ourselves into that position, but you're getting as much as you possibly can. And this time release both arms down. Okay, let those shoulders go easy again. Lift your left arm up, spin it all the way back. And turn to face forwards. And 3, so it goes all the way up, all the way down the wall behind you, and then it ends up down by your thigh. 2 more please, inhale. Exhale. Last time please. All the way back and down, and then again take your hand onto the other side of the rib cage. Lift your right arm up, inhaling into the right hand side of the rib cage. And release down. So remember, we're thinking about almost pressing your hands into the left hand side of the ribs to enhance the stretch down the right hand side. On this next 2, can you think about lifting your ribs up and over your hand? So we're almost trying to make like a banana shape here with the spine. And lower. Very deliberate breaths. Allowing everything to slow down. And this time we release both arms. Now I'm going to stand with my space in front of me, with my mat in front of me. Feet are still in a parallel position because we are going to go for a little bit of plank work. So find that even connection in your feet. Find that connection of your rib cage. Breathe in, lift your arms up, gaze up to the ceiling. And exhale, take your arms wide. And just nod your chin to your chest. Give me 2 more, please. Lifting up. And stretching wide. When you lift up, feel that length from the pubic bone up to your breastbone. And this time we're going to roll down. Imagine there's a wall behind you and you're peeling your spine off of that wall. Make sure you haven't got all of the weight in your heels here. And just hang for a moment. Where are you feeling tight? So for me today, I feel my lumbar spine's a bit tight. I'm not surprised, I've been really busy this week. So just hanging here is just giving me that sense of beautiful release. You might feel a bit tight down the back of the legs, down your neck. If it is your neck, just nod your head yes. Shake it no. Find that even connection throughout your feet and rebuild your spine for 4, 3, just keep breathing because that breath's going to help aid your mobility. And 1. Lift up again, length from the pubic bone to the breastbone. Arms wide. Finding that articulation of the spine as you roll down. Let your arms hang. Okay, you're looking back in between your knees there or thereabouts. We're going to walk out to our plank. Okay, so the hand that's closest to the screen, you're going to lift that up and come to a side plank. Okay, so you pivot on your feet. Now, if you have any shoulder issues, I want you to take that bottom knee down, okay? We're not going to force through anything that doesn't feel right for us. What we're going to do is, we're going to do similarly to what we did with the chair last week. We're standing, but we're going to take a side bend, and you're going to turn to look at the hand on the floor. And then we're going to do a hip dip. So my arm lowers down towards my thigh, my hip dips down. Try not to let that top hip roll backwards. And then we go up and over for 2 more. So remember, you take your knee to the floor if you need to. And we lower, because we want as much mobility as possible. If we're fighting, don't lower to rest though, sorry. So I'm just hovering, there we go. Last one, please. Oh, my arm's shaking a bit. And we do our hip dip without having a little break at the bottom if we can help it. And we lift to center. Whew, pivot on our feet and take that hand down. Give me an up stretch, please. Now I want you to think about encouraging your heels down towards the mat there. They might come down, they might not. Doesn't matter, as long as you feel you're stretching out there. Press your bottom back to the window or the wall behind you, and press your chest back to your knees. I'm going to lift one heel high, really feeling the stretch through that foot. And we switch for 6. And 5, and often what I see when I'm teaching this is people rushing this. I want you to take your time. Feel the stretch through the feet, through the calves. Give me 1 more, please. And then press both heels down. Press your chest back to your knees a bit more and walk your hands into your feet. And I'd just like you to hang here. Now I'm going to go to the other side of the mat, so I'm looking at you the whole time. Hanging here, shake your wrists out. Think about your feet, think about what your knees are doing, and stack your spine up. Oh, already I feel so much looser. At the top, we lift the arms, lift our gaze. Stretch and roll down, ready to do the other side. Arms hanging, heads hanging, belly button pulls up. And feel, as you pull the belly button up, feel how that really opens up the lumbar spine. It adds to that stretch. Walking out, please, to your plank. Your other arm lifts up to the ceiling, you pivot on your feet. Okay, so the whole time I'm trying to keep my hip bones stacked. I'm going to side bend and then turn my head to look at my hand on the floor. And then I release and I turn to look at my hand, which is about to tap my thigh. Oh, my hip is rolling back. Behave. And two more, up, up and over. Feel like you're pressing the rib cage up towards the ceiling, the side of the rib cage, and release it down. Breathing the whole time. Last time, into your side bend. Oh, I'm even shakier on this left arm. And give me that little hip dip. And then come up to a side plank, lift your arm to the ceiling. Take the hand down, spin so you are on your toes. And give me an up stretch again. Press your chest to your trousers. And this time I'm going to peel up both heels. Now, as you're picking both heels up, you're on the pads of the toes. You're really pressing down on them. You're pressing the front of the ankles forwards to help lift your heels higher. And then you slowly press both heels down and your chest presses back a bit more. 3 more. Inhale, I lift my heels. Exhale, I slowly lower my heels. I press my bottom back a bit more. And 2, so you're articulating through the soles of your feet like you do your spine and shoulder bridge. Let your head hang. Last time, please, roll on up. Take the heels down. And this time, we're going to walk our feet to our hands. So we're going to end up at the other end of the mat. We're trying to keep our hands flat on the floor for as long as possible. Oh, so we're trying to come to this roll down position. I've come up to my fingertips already. I'm such a cheat. And then we just hang. And work for your wrists. A couple of times, each direction, rotating. Your head is still hanging. Bring your focus back to your feet. I was sitting on my heels here, so I know I have to correct that. More weight on my toes. And then stack your spine up. And lift the arms. Gaze all the way up to the ceiling. And take your arms round. We're going to cross the arms. Take one foot behind the other. And we're going to bring ourselves down for our mat work. So we are going to be getting into the abs here. So let's start with our knees bent, our feet on the floor. Tuck my belly back in. I'm always pulling my trousers up. Is everyone else with me? Like, why do they never stay up? Okay, knees bent, feet on the floor. Let's just find our connection with the rib cage and get a bit more movement through the arms. My palms are facing down to the mat. And then I'm going to inhale, take the arms back to or towards the floor behind me without sacrificing the rib cage, okay? The rib cage is still dropping heavy. Just let it go for a moment. Let the arms go further back. You'll feel the ribs want to pop. We're going to avoid that. And then bring your arms down to your sides. 3 more. Inhale back. You're not forcing your lumbar spine down into the mat. That's just easy as it wants to be. It's all about the ribs. And bring those arms forward. So reach to the front of the room as you bring them down. 2 more, please. Sweep back. And reach forwards. Inhale, take it back. This time, as my arms come forwards, my chin nods to my chest and I come up ready for my 100 with the feet on the floor. So let's make sure the lower back is down. The shoulders come forwards. We beat our arms, breathing in through the nose for the count of 5 and out through our mouths for the same count. Now the wrists aren't flapping, the arms are strong. As I say, the chin is nodded down towards the chest The lower back is down. Can you get those shoulders forwards a bit? Imagine I've got my hands under your shoulders. I'm pressing them forward so you've got this deeper flexion. Pause there. Take your hands behind your thighs. Get those shoulders up higher. Pull onto your legs to lift them higher. But the lower back is still down. Then let go. Continue to beat your arms. I need you to maintain this height the whole time. So you're looking to the wall in front of you. You're not looking up to the ceiling. These are big, vigorous arm beats. The head is not bobbing. One more set here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Pause. Hands behind your thighs again. Get those shoulders up. Pull into your legs to lift you higher. 3 more sets. Breathe it in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more sets. And out. Remember I'm there. I'm pushing your shoulders forwards. Come up higher, higher, higher. Last set. Breathing out. Pause. And lengthen out. Take your legs long. And just allow everything to release and go long. Let your breath settle. So I think that's definitely woken the abs up. For the next move, we are going to, before we get started, so we're going to do a little pulse up at the bottom. It's really quite low. My lower abs are working hard to keep it there. I take my bum down and then I allow my hips to open. Note again, my abs aren't popping up here. Okay, so it's a little pulse, a little pause. Pelvis comes down, legs lower away. So let's get started. Press your arms into the mat. Feel openness across your chest as you press the shoulders down. The knees start coming close to you and the pelvis hovers a tiny amount. You pause. Feel how that stretches out the lumbar spine. And then the pelvis slowly comes down. The bend in my knees doesn't get lost as I lower my feet down towards or to the floor. And then slowly we come up. And then we do that little hover. And we take the bum down. So the hover is small because I want to get deep into those low abs rather than your back doing all of the work, which is fine, but that's not what I want today. Hover, pause, pelvis down, reaching those thigh bones out. 2 more, please. Pressing into the little fingers as well. Use the whole hand. Little pause. And a lower. And a reach. Squeeze those legs together. Breathing the entire time. So the bend in the knees isn't changing. Those legs aren't going floppy. Last time. Come up. Pause. Hold it. And take the bum down. So look at the bend in the knees if you have to. It's not changing. It's all here from the hips. It's an opener. And then we lift. Take your feet down, take a full body stretch, please. So that's prepping us. We're going to go into a rollover with a little bit of momentum. I'm going to be kind to you today. Let's just lift one leg up, take your hands behind your thigh, lift your head and rock yourself up. So, rollover with momentum. Let's just take our hands either side of our bottom, but it's not too much momentum. We roll back until our head and our shoulders come down. Your thighs are kind of parallel to the floor or the ceiling, however you think about it. You're pressing your hands down, unless you need a bit of a helping hand where you could hold the back of your pelvis with your hands. Legs are staying together today. Reach them long. Can you lower your toes a bit more to the floor behind you? Flex your feet. Try and touch the wall behind you with your heels. Relax your feet, bend those knees, and walk yourself up with control if we can. Just 3 more. Rolling slowly back until the shoulders and the head comes down. Extend your legs long. You're looking up to your knees, you're not looking to your belly button, so the back of the neck is long. Can you lower those toes a bit closer to the floor behind you without forcing it? Flex your feet, push those heels back. Relax the feet, bend the knees in, come up with control. So remember, if you need your hands on the back of your pelvis, absolutely use them. Give me 2. Roll back. Extend. Where's the floor? Oh, there it is. If you can find it, you can tuck your toes under, and that gives you something to press against when you're flexing your feet. But if not, you can just flex them. Bend them in, please. And rock yourself up. Just one more. This is such a good way. If you've got a bit of tightness in your lower back, this is the move. Tuck the toes, flex your feet.
for the stretch. So imagine I'm there with you with my hands on the back of your knees. Press the back of your knees into my hand. And bend the knees in. Rock yourself up. Well done. We are going to roll onto our side. So we're going to work in side kick now, side kick lying. I'm going to prop myself up on my forearm. If you need to, you can make a little pillow if you feel like chilling out a little bit today. I would prefer to see you propped up, but it's your workout. So I'm thinking about my hip bones staying stacked on top of one another. I don't want to lose this top hip. Reach your leg long, flex your foot, and kick the leg forwards. How far forwards can you go for that stretch? Point, take the leg back. You can allow the breastbone to press forwards a bit because we're going to go into swan dive soon, which is this move on our front really. Kick forwards. Point, take it back. You could have your finger on that top hip to give you feedback, or you can have your hand on the floor. Completely up to you. 3. Give me that heel. And reach through your toes. And 2. So when I say the breastbone presses into your t-shirt, there's a little bit of movement now. I don't just hang out completely. We're in control of the movement. Last one, please. Kick. Point, take it back, and we leave it behind this time. How far back can we get it? Bend the knee, feel that stretch through the quads. We're going to bicycle. And then that bent knee comes all the way in, as much as you can from each part of the move. Reach it long, take it back. So you've got your hip extension. As you bend, you've got your quad stretch. As you bring it in, I'm feeling my lumbar spine stretching out. As you kick, you get that stretch down the back of the legs. 2 more. So every part of the move is deliberate and important. Sometimes I see people just kind of flinging their leg around. Okay, we're going to finish with it behind this time. Keep the leg long, kick it forwards. We reverse bicycle. We bend. Don't forget that hip stretch we're looking for. It's still bent, and then you reach long. 3 more, please. And that's right, yeah, so Kerry's still holding her hip, and that's really lovely because that feedback's there all the time. And we want to get as much from this move as possible without just rolling out all over the place. Last one, please. We're going to finish with the leg long and behind, and then bring it in line with the rest of your body. Flex your foot. Make sure your big toe is facing forwards, not up. Lift the leg up until you feel the side of the leg working, and pulse. So you don't drop down because those muscles are switched off. It's that just trying to push up a bit higher each time rather than the drop. Let's just check we're not sinking into this shoulder on the mat. Stay lifted, looking in front. Point your toes, circle 5 and 4. If that were to be going in your neck, I don't know if that was pulling your neck, Vicky, or if you were checking something, but you could always come down here. Don't go through any pain. Change direction, give me 5 and 4. 3, 2, oh my bum's burning, last one. Bend it in, give it a bit of a rub, and then we rock you over onto the other side. Let me keep an eye on the time, good, 20 minutes. Prop yourself up on the forearm or lay down, whatever works for you. I mean, let's get as much from it as we can though. Hips stacked, leg long. I'm there pulling your ankle. I'm pulling your ankle so long you feel you lift from the mat a bit more. And we go forward to 5. And back for 5 and 4. So see, this is that bit of a swan dive as your leg comes back. 3. When your leg is kicking forwards, just check that the side of the foot's parallel to the ceiling. The big toe isn't facing up there. So we're keeping your leg strong in your parallel position. Last one. Take it back, ready for our bicycle. So there, reach it longer, bend, knee into your belly. Kick to the top corner of the room and sweep it back. Give me 3 more, please. Remembering that we are just looking at each element of the move and getting what we can from it. Last one, please. Try not to sink into the shoulder. Change direction, kick forwards. Bend in. Reach it back. Try and touch the wall behind you. Give me 3. Trying to look in front, if that's okay, because if we start looking down, we've lost this beautiful alignment. Last one, please. Take it as far back as you can, and then bring your leg in line with your body. Flex the foot. Find your highest point without sinking into the shoulder. Pulse. Yeah, everyone's having a little lay down now, that's absolutely fine. As long as you feel this bit working, then I'm happy. And let's reach and circle 5, 4, 3. All of this work's going to help in our next swan dive. So kind of remember this. The pelvis is staying still, change direction, or stillish, and it's the leg going behind. 2, 1, and release. Give it a rub, and we're going to go onto our tummies. Oh, I've lost my hairband, there it is. Okay, so we're going to lay on our tummy with our hands under our shoulders, please, and our legs together. So we're looking to have the knuckles of the big toes together. We're just going to find the beginning of our swan dive first of all. So hands down, elbows tucked in. I'm going to start looking up at the wall in front of me, so it's just my gaze lifting, then my head follows, and then I come up to this point where my breastbone's just lifted. I'm going to take my hands away and try and lift higher and feel where the work is coming from. And release down. So it's this thoracic spine kind of area that we're trying to get a bit of extension into. Looking up, that starts the move. Everything follows. Can you lift the hands? Can you lift a bit higher? And then lengthen down. We look up, we find that work. And then, elbows are still tucked. We press into our hands to come up to a swan dive. And then on the way down, you find your pubic bone, your belly button, your breastbone, and then your nose. This is a real sequential movement. Looking up, elbows tucked. Coming up without dumping into your lumbar spine. Looking up, wall in front of you. And again, it's that sequential movement on the way down, like we did with our feet when we pedaled through them at the beginning of the class. Coming up. This time, we're going to add our left leg. So as our upper body comes down, that left leg reaches. So as in our side kick we were doing, the pelvis is fairly level. I'm not lifting my leg up so high I've twisted. Lengthen the leg down to the mat as your upper body comes up. Right leg, give me 5 more. Let's really involve the breath now. Inhale as the upper body comes up. Remember, where you're looking starts the move. Exhale, your left leg comes up. That inhale helps the extension of the spine. As you come up, right leg goes longer rather than higher. I mean, if you've got all the hip flexibility, it might well lift higher than mine, but don't lose or don't sacrifice the alignment of the pelvis. 2 more. Reach it, reach it, reach it. And lengthen up. Last one, please, on the right. And take it down. We're just going to press into Pilates rest to let the spine neutralise, and then we are going to go onto our tummy for a little bit more prone work. A bit more lengthening of the front of the body, which most of us probably need more than any other movement. Wiggle it out. Let's see if we can get our eyebrows closer to our knees here. You could walk your fingers to the front of the mat if you just want to add that stretch through the shoulders. And then just tuck your tailbone, stack your spine up. Just so you can look at the camera for a moment. We are going to go for single leg kick. What we're going to do is wrap one hand around the other fist so we feel like we're pulling ourselves up, and we're going to that's going to help us lift our breastbone. So I am again looking up in front of me. Now, in a moment, we're going to lift both legs. If you feel, again, that has made you sink and dump into your lumbar spine, you just take your elbows out a little bit. What we want to be able to do is keep this lift of the breastbone and then lift those legs up. So the legs aren't going to touch down. Just kick one foot to your bum towards it, looking up in front of you. Reach it long. And as it bends, you feel the stretch through the quads again, like we did in our side kick. So much repetition, but in all these different directions, so we're strengthening different parts. We kick. Are you maintaining that height of the upper body? Those shoulders, or you're lifting your breastbone out between your arms. We're going to speed up now. We're going to switch, 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 switch. Give me 8, 7, 6. Keep pulling back on those elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, take both legs long, take them down, and again we press into rest position.
Take a second, let your back just ease itself off. Again, up to you. You can have your hands down by your feet. You can have your arms reaching long in front of you. But your knees are together, unlike in yoga where your knees are quite often wide. This is going to help by having your knees together. It's going to help you get as much flexion through the spine as possible. Couple of deep breaths, please. And then when you're ready, stack the spine up.
And we're going to go for some cat and cow work, and then we're going to take a leg out to the side and get into our hip as well. So, cat, fingers wide, hands under your shoulders, knees just hip distance apart. Your bum, let's really focus today that your bum doesn't go backwards and forwards. Your bottom or your pelvis is over your knees. Let us find our deep cat.
Rippling through the spine, trying to get your tailbone and your nose closer together. Pull your belly up to your spine and press your hands away from the mat. Now, without your bottom going back towards the heels, we take it into our extension, where you start lifting your breastbone between your arms. Your tailbone does go up a little bit. Again, we're not loading the lower back. It's lengthening the top and bottom rib away from each other. Let's work with our breath now. Inhale into our cat. Exhale into our extension. Lift the breastbone up, cut the wall in front of you. 2 more each direction. Inhale, ripple up. Exhale, find that extension. Last time, please. Get as much from it as you possibly can. Remember your bum isn't wiggled back. And find that extension. And then come somewhere in between. So your neutral position where you gather the belly up, the rib cage up, and you lift from your throat. I'm going to turn to face you. Take your right leg out to the side. Okay, we've done this one before. We're going to do a cat in this position. Ripple through your spine. Raise it up to the ceiling, that mid-back. And then we're going to take it to our extension where we'll probably find we get into this hip a little bit at the same time. Twice more. Into your cat, inhaling, and exhale into like cow in yoga or just extension in Pilates. One more time, please, cat. Remember the bum isn't sinking back to the left heel. And cow. Come to neutral, somewhere in between. Nothing else is going to move, but you just spin those right toes to face up towards the ceiling so that leg bone spins outwards. And then take the toes down. So as I spin the toes up, I feel my bottom muscles. If you listen, those bottom muscles start to really switch on. And release. Spin the toes up, flex that foot and walk your hands round to that right leg. Just let your left eyebrow drop closer to the knee. And then as your toes face forward, your hands walk back to their starting position. Twice more. Spin the toes up, walk the hands round like Spider-Man hands, walking round. Stretching out. Again, imagine my hands at the back of your right knee. Press the back of the knee into my hand. And walk round, release the foot. Last time, please. So we never really hold a stretch in Pilates. We're always moving in and out of it. And you're going to get so much more from this. And release the foot, walk your hands around. Take that right leg in. Same with your left leg. Okay, so let's just make sure your hands are still under your shoulders. Fingers are wide. Give me that cat, breathing in. Get as much from it as you can. Exhale, gazing up. Your bum hasn't just dropped back to your right heel. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Last time each direction. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then come to neutral, somewhere in between again. Belly up, rib cage up, lift from throat. spin your left foot to face up, or your left toes to face up. And then turn them down. 2 more like this. So you're just externally rotating at the hip joint, so your knee faces up to the ceiling. And release down. Last time, spin up. Pressing through that left heel, walk your hands round. Breathing the entire time. And release. Release the foot as well. Lovely. So let those toes face forwards again, Kerry. Lovely. So they face forwards there. Lovely. So you get that release and then they spin up. Lovely. So we're going in and out of it. So now they're facing up. Because as I say, when we're moving in and out of a movement, we're going to get so much more. You don't just want to hold a stretch. Okay, toes begin to face forwards again as your hands walk round. Kerry, I always feel like I'm calling out your names because you're bang in the middle of my screen. I don't know how you end up in the middle every time, but you're like there. Okay, spin the toes up. I'm not picking on you, I'm just seeing you. I just want you to get as much from the move as you can. Okay, get that stretch. Can you push through that left heel a bit more? And release back to centre. Take that left knee in. And just press to rest position again. Just have a little wiggle. And then we tuck our tailbone and articulate our spine up to kneeling. That was the shortest rest ever, wasn't it? And then up we come. Right, so thighs together. Take your hands behind your head. I want you to think about elbows going back, but as your elbows go back, you don't go into the ribs again. So you're pulling the front ribs away from your t-shirt. Let us just take our right leg out. So a pane of glass in front of you and behind you, and you just side bend through them. So you don't roll forwards, even if it means you don't go as far over. So you're going to the long leg, and then we come on up. So elbows wide, ribs in. Go away from the long leg. Top elbow up higher. Exhale, lift. Let's use our breath for this. Yeah, kneel on something. If that's a bit much on your knee, tuck something under it. Inhale, over. Feel that beautiful stretch and release. And lift. Take it over. Can we get a little bit more from it each time? So you stretch and then those muscles have to contract and work even harder on the way up. Give me 2 more, please. Okay, on this next one we need to be going away from the long leg if anyone's doing the opposite direction to me. So we go over to the left, going as low as I can, and then I take that hand down. I'm looking for the floor. I lift the leg up. Take your elbow wide, please. Flex your foot, kick forwards. Point your toes, sweep back. 4 more, kick forwards. Point, take it back. Again, you're not losing the rib cage completely again as it goes back. Yes, there can be some movement there, but keep control. Last one, I think, and take it back, back, back. Bring your leg to center, circle it. You might notice I've got my toes tucked under on this bent leg because my foot was going to begin to cramp. So if you ever feel crampy there, tuck the toes under and it helps. Change direction, circle 5. Remember it's high, you're not losing that height. Give me 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Slowly come up with control, which I'm really rubbish at. Then bring the legs together. Elbows wide, ribs in. Take your left leg out. Side bend to the left. So I'm tight to this side and I feel myself beginning to rotate. So I've really got to feel and remember that we're going through those 2 panes of glass. So you're trapped. Exhale, lift. As you inhale, go over. Feel like you're breathing into the right hand side of the rib cage there. Can that help will that breath help you get a little bit more? Give me 3. Give me more. Top elbow high and lift. Give me 2. Explore what you've got and lift.
We're going to go as low as we can. Okay, and then straighten the arm. You can see I'm tight to this side because that was a struggle to get my hand down. Okay, flex your foot, kick forwards. Point your toes, go back. Give me 4. It's lovely to see all of your feet coming towards me in the screen. Give me 3. And take it back. Where's that elbow, Charlotte? Get your elbow higher. Don't lose it. 2. You're quite near the middle of my screen as well. I'm watching you like a hog. Last on your lucky thing. Kick forwards. Point, take it back, feel that release. And then come to center. Circle 5, 4. Keep it high. 3, 2. I'm now pulling your ankle. I'm pulling that leg longer. Once you're ready, change direction. Elbow higher. Rib cage connected. Give me 4. And 3. Oh, my leg's shaking. 2. And 1. Coming up with control. I'm releasing down for a moment. Oh, well done. Have a wiggle out. How long have I got? Lovely. So we are going to come up to our high knees again because we're going to finish the class as we started. So high knees, legs together. Of course, you can kneel on something if you wish. Let those arm bones spin backwards a little bit. Open chest, ribs in. And just nod your ear to your shoulder. And then take it the other way. And again, if you wish, you're welcome to close your eyes. Some people like that, some people don't. Hopefully you'll feel now you're nice and warmed up. You've got a little bit more movement here through the neck. Hopefully it feels a little more mobile. Oh, I'm puffing and panting. And come to center. And we draw the circles on the wall in front with our nose again. Oh, my neck's making all sorts of like weird poppy noises. It's like snap, crackle and pop. There's no pain, but you know when the breakfast cereal starts making random noises. Oh, and then slowly decrease in size. And change direction, please. Again, those circles get bigger and bigger. Okay, and again they get a bit smaller rather than just stopping. And then we come to center. I'm going to turn to the side view. We're going to take the left arm up as we did at the beginning, but then we reach back, a bit of a thigh stretch, looking back over that arm. And bring the arm down. Other arm, take it up, look back, reach back, ribs are connected, try and touch the wall behind you. And windmill the arm forwards. Give me 4. And release. How long have I got? Lovely. Give me 3. And release. Squeeze your legs together. Don't let them part. Squeeze them together. Give me 2. Those legs are going to want to part and you're not going to let that happen. Final time, please. All the way up and back. And release the arm. This time, both arms lift up. And take your arms wide. Nod your chin. 2 more. Inhale, find length from the pubic bone to the breastbone. Take your arms even wider. Last time we lift. And bring your arms halfway down. And give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you.